James Bond was right, and he already did the test long time ago. There is a difference between shaking and stirring. 4.5 billion years ago, the conditions on the surface on Earth were very, very hostile. We don't know how it happened, however, we do know that it happened in what is called the primordial soup. This was a soup in quotation that was made from water and a mixture of many different molecules. The first organism that appeared were the bacteria. Nobody knows, and this is one of the greatest mysteries of science, how life evolved from the inanimate matter.
Scientists in Israel are also experimenting with water's ability to retain information. Here the measuring instruments are bacteria.
If you expose water to weak electromagnetic radiation, the effect should be erased within milliseconds. Not only that, but even if there is some effect, it should be so weak that even our best and most advanced technological tools will not be able to detect the differences. But the bacteria can do it. Not only they can detect the differences, but what they can do, they can amplify it to the point that we can look at the colony that it's going after the bacteria were exposed to water that had some weak electromagnetic radiation, that they can go 2 or 3 times faster than the other bacteria.
Researchers at the School of Physics and Astronomy at Tel Aviv University are exploring the question of whether water can tell when it is subjected to weak electromagnetic radiation.
Use the bacteria as our detector to tell us or to show that really some changes have been occurring in the water, and these changes actually, we expose the bacteria after some time, an hour, 2 hours we can, that these changes that were induced could survive for a long time.
The experiments have led to interesting results.
We have preliminary results, they are not published yet, and it seems, it's preliminary results, it seems that there are many genes that are related to metabolism, related to development of the bacteria that are upregulated. So they really sense something in the water.
The internal structure of water molecules remains a mystery. Science attempts to penetrate the interior of the molecules, to study them, and to get a systematic picture of them. But even the most modern computers have their limits.
We really don't know exactly everything what happened there, but I can tell you for sure that if a molecule entered to water, so a lot of things changed. First of all, the molecule. The second, around the molecule you have a shell that we call it solvation shell of water molecule that surround this molecule and making the molecule different from the molecule outside water. So molecules can behave differently in water. And it's very interesting. Now, this molecule that you enter to the water will change all the molecule around that was before in the water. So it's a lot of complicated things. So it's very interesting to understand that water can change according to their area, to the area that surrounds them.
The Israeli scientist Eshel Ben Yaakov uses completely different methods to arrive at the same conclusion.
The odor of these plants that we have here can have a very, very strong effect. Not only if I put some leaf into the water, but just the odor which is deposited around has a very, very strong effect on the water. And this strong effect causes all the time inside to gases from the atmosphere to be mixed in to form a big network, very complicated network of bubbles, very, very tiny bubbles of gases. And the number of nanobubbles inside here, just to give you an estimate, it's about, depends on the condition, it's about 1,000 times the number of neurons that we have in our brain.
Water has a memory. And water has a kind of intelligence, much more than air, you know. Water it's a cosmic thing.
Johann Grande, the waterman of Tyrol, believes that it is possible to transfer information from one sample of water to another, without the two of them coming into contact with each other. The process developed by him, so-called water revitalization, is based on the principle of conducting flowing water through a stainless steel container that is filled with revitalized water. The flowing water picks up the information from the still water. But Grande's success has its opponents, who call water revitalization parascientific nonsense. In fact, the process cannot be understood by using conventional scientific means. Nevertheless, more than 300,000 users worldwide rely on his system, from simple households to high-tech industries. Often water has flowed a long way from the mountain to the valley. There is an old proverb that says, "Water is not clean until it has flowed over a stone 7 times." There has been practically no research into the question of the importance to water of motion. What does the water pick up along its way, from the air and from its surroundings? Does it bring information with it from inside the earth? Has it absorbed oscillations from minerals and ores? As Eshel ben Jacob warns, water is quite vulnerable.
If this is the case, as I mentioned before, we have to rethink the way that we treat our water.
In any case, one has to be extremely careful in dealing with water.
If water indeed has memory, the fact that we are so uncareful about the treatment of water can cause the water that we have to eventually to become non-suitable or stressful to organic systems. I don't want to sound as someone who brings a message now of a disaster, but it can happen. They will not be poisonous, they will not have some minerals that are not within the regulations, but they will be undrinkable in the sense that drinking this water will cause us some damage or will weaken our system as a whole. And more important is that if we treat the water this way, the bacteria that we cannot live without might go through dramatic changes and will not be able to function in supporting the environment that we see around.
What we know is a drop. What we don't know is an ocean. Isaac Newton.